Welcome back everyone to 3D modeling a Hobbit door scene with Blender 2.9 and Adobe Photoshop. Now this is where we left it off, so let's come over now to the materials panel once more. Let's click the plus button, and what you need to do now is you really need to decide what colors you're going to have within actually this glass. So I think I'm going to have a orange definitely for this plant here, so let's do that one. So I'm going to click new, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click this blue. I'm going to copy, so I'm going to drag it over, press Ctrl C and copy that, and then I'll double click this, Ctrl V, space, I'm going to call this orange, like so. Now let's work our way down. So I want two different greens. Now it might be the chance that these two islands look a little bit different from each other. I'm not sure, so we'll try that first. So what we'll do again is we'll click plus button, new, double click, Ctrl V, space, green, like so. Then I'm going to add in another one, so new, double click it, Ctrl V, and I'm going to put this bird green. It's a slightly turquoise color, but I'm just going to call it bird green, like so. And then what I want is I need a red for the hummingbird's breast here, so we'll click plus, new, double click it, Ctrl V. I'll click red, like so. And finally then, I want a yellow color in here. I think actually, I'm not sure, I think I also want a different green as well. So I've got bird green here, so that should be fine. But I'm just thinking that I want a different, yeah, I'm gonna put bird green, and I'm also gonna make one turquoise. So we'll do that. So we'll click plus, new, double click, Ctrl V. And I'm not sure if I spelled that correctly, probably not, but that will do. Let's do one more. So new, and we'll double click it, Ctrl V, and I'm going to put in yellow. Okay, so that's all of those done now. And what I need to do now is I need to copy this material to save me having to create this all over again. So let's come to this top one, click this little down arrow. I'm going to copy material. So copy material, come to the next one, and paste material. I'm just going to do that for all these, like so. And like so. All right, so they're all set up. Now let's work on these four here first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press tab, come over to face select, and I'm going to grab one of these, press L, and I'm going to grab all of these. These are obviously the plants, leaves, petals, so I want to put them on stained glass orange. So let's click that on, click assign, press the tab button, and now with this actually selected, let's change the color. So we'll come in, grab this one, and we're going to change it to an orange color, like so. Let's change this one, like so, and let's bring that up a little bit just to get a little bit of variance, like so. Let's double tap the A, and there we go. Now you can see that's looking really nice. It might need to be a little bit brighter. So let's come in again, not that one. Let's click on this one and make it a little bit brighter. Bring that up a little bit, like so. And let's look at the value here. We can see we can really bring it out if we want to, like so. And let's bring up the saturation just to make sure they stand out a little bit. And the hue, I wouldn't mess around with the hue. The hue, basically, we'll just turn it into a different color, so we don't want that. So at the moment, am I happy with that? I think it needs to be still a little bit more orange, something like that. All right, so that I'm actually happy with. And now let's come over to the leaves here, and we want these green. So what we'll do is we'll come over to our stained glass green, press the tab button, and let's just grab each of these, and we're going to assign them. So assign. And then let's come, press tab button, and let's turn these into a nice green. So something like that. Let's move it over there just so I can see what I'm doing. And let's also change this one here to a green. Now, because they're islands, they're quite close together on this, and they're also very small, you might not see a lot of variation with that. But I think for now, actually, I'm quite happy with that. Now, let's come to our next one. So this one will do actually, I'll scroll down, I'll come to the turquoise part, because the turquoise part, I know that I want this part here, for instance, and these parts of the wings to be that turquoise. So I'll come to here and I'll select the parts I want. So I'm going to grab this one and this one and this part here. I'm going to come to my turquoise, so scroll down, click assign, and now I'm going to come to this part and change the color. So let's try and make a nice turquoise or something like that. There we go. And I think actually it's a bit green, so let's just turn it this one blue as well. Like so. And I don't want it quite so green, so I'm just going to try and, yeah, I want it perhaps a little bit more saturated. And I think, yeah, that's getting there. I'm still not happy though. I think it needs to be a bit more blue than green. So yeah, something like that I think is nice. I'm happy with that. Okay, so now let's work on the green parts of the bird green. So let's come over to stained glass bird green, tab again, and let's grab all of these, and I'll also do these parts of the tail here. So I'm going to come down to stained glass bird green, click assign. And also, I recommend actually saving this out as well. We haven't actually saved it, and we should have done that, so I'm sorry about that. So all you need to do to save it out is come to File, come down to where it says Save As, let it open up, just save it out where you actually want it. So I want to save mine in here somewhere, so I'm going to click on this little plus, and I'm going to make a new folder, and I'm just going to call this Main Blend, File, like so, click Enter. And then I'm going to call it Hobbit Door Scene. So we create a new file then, and now we're actually going to create an actual blend file, save as, and now what you can do is you can just come up to File, Save. Now the thing is, when it's not saved, you'll end up with a little asterisk up here that tells you the actual file isn't saved, so just bear that in mind. Alright, so now let's change these over. So we need a green now, so let's come to this one and put it on green like so. And I'm looking, and you can see we've got a lot of variance there, and we really don't want that much variance. So let's click on this one and put this on green as well. And that's much better. Obviously, we need a little bit more variance, I think. So let's have a look if we... Not so much. Let's bring it up to something like here. Let's try bringing this down. Yeah, something like that actually looks really nice. Okay, so I'm actually happy with that. The one thing I'm not happy with is just this bit. It's just a little bit too close to this green. So I want to actually work a little bit more on my turquoise. So I'm going to come back. I think we just want it a lot more kind of a turquoise color. So I'm just going to, yeah, something like that I think actually is much better. Let's have a look if I bring that up. Yeah, and that's fitting in much, much better. As you can see, there's a real nice variance in between there. I'm also looking as well at the metal, and I'm constantly thinking, do I need to make it a little bit darker? Probably so. So let's do that when we've actually finished. The other thing is I do want this head as well to also be this kind of turquoise color. So I'm going to press tab, I'm going to grab this part, I'm going to come down and click assign on there like so. Yeah, and I'm happy with that. All right, so one more to go, which is the red. Sorry, two more to go. It's the yellow here and the red here. So let's come in and we'll do the yellow first. So we'll come in, grab our flower, click assign. That's the wrong one, so click assign. And now let's change these colors to a yellow. Like so. Let's have a look how much yellow we can actually get that, and I think it needs to be, let's have a look, a lot more brighter than this. So I'm gonna bring out this value all the way up to 2, and yeah, you can see it stands out really nice now. The other one is, I think I just need to change the variance. There's a little bit too much variance in there, so again we'll go up, go to the orange, and let's just change this variance just a little bit. So we'll make this kind of more of the same color. As you can see now, that's looking much, much nicer. And then finally now let's come to our red. So we've got the breast of the bird and the tail feather. Let's press tab, grab this one and this one, come down, assign, and now let's change the color. So I'm going to press tab so I can see what I'm doing, to red, like so. And there we go. Okay, so just make sure that they are a little bit different. You can see there that there wasn't much difference in them. So I want them red like that. And I think I want one of them to be possibly a little bit dark. Let's have a look. Maybe that's too dark, I'm thinking. So I'm just trying to get some nice variations in it. Let's turn this up like so. And let's have a look. Oops. Bring up the value a little bit just to make it a little bit. Let's make it a little bit more red. Like so. All right, so that I think I'm really happy with. Now, let's finally finish with this material here. So let's make it a little bit darker on the color. So I've grabbed the material by grabbing the actual object. I'm going to double tap the A so I can see what I'm doing. Come to base color. Let's make it a little bit darker. Not too dark, but just a little bit darker, just so it fits a lot better. And you can see already now that's looking much, much better. And you can see now how easy it is to actually create stained glass windows and create the color variations and things like that. Okay everyone, so that is the window part of the course done. I hope you had a lot of fun actually creating it. I know I did, and I hope to see you on the next one where we'll create the actual frame that's going to actually fit in. Okay everyone, so I hope you enjoyed that. See you in the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.